Lord, make a regular man out of me. This I would like to be: braver, bolder, just a bit wiser because I'm older, just a bit kinder to those I may meet, just a bit manlier, taking defeat. This for the new year, my wish and my plea. Lord, make a regular man out of me. This I would like to be: just a bit finer, more of a smiler and less of a whiner, just a bit quicker to stretch out my hand, helping another who's struggling to stand. This is my prayer for the new year to be. Lord, make a regular man out of me. This I would like to be: just a bit fairer, just a bit better, and just a bit squarer, not quite so ready to censure and blame, quicker to help every man in the game, not quite so eager men's failings to see, Lord. Make a regular man out of me. This I would like to be: just a bit truer, less of a wisher and more of a doer, broader and bigger, more willing to give, living and helping my neighbor to live. This, Lord, for the new year, make a regular man out of me. It is Thursday, the 19th of September, 2024, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. So, as we said, it's a Thursday afternoon. And you know, on a Thursday here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, we have your legal corner with U.S. immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. So we're looking forward to her input as well, as usual, here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. In fact, I believe we have at least one person messaging us already, and it's quite a distance away from 3:30. And so we have put up your message in a safe place, in a manner of speaking. So yours shall be the first. So we look forward to that. In the meantime, let's remind you of the numbers to reach us here on Power 106 FM, 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Whatever is on your mind, your thoughts, your ideas, your issues, your concerns, your questions, feel free to ask. We're here for you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad. And let's greet some of you. Faye Weller says, Blessed afternoon. Blessed afternoon to you too, Faye Weller. Inez Ayona Campbell Murray says, A pleasant afternoon to everyone. Same to you. Olga Hollingshead says, Dervan Malcolm, Thursday afternoon blessings to you and your family and listening audience everywhere. Thank you very much, Olga Hollingshead, for your message here on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. So we're looking forward, as usual, to your full participation. After all, it is your program, both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And of course, there's a lot happening in our country, and we're intrigued to find out how it will all end up, not without us playing our part as usual. After all, it's about the people, and the people have a duty to protect the country and its people. So we trust that wisdom will prevail, and we can get back to focusing on the challenges which continue to confront us as a people and as a country. In the meantime, we look forward to hearing from you via your messages and your phone calls, 876 922 4112 to 5. We welcome your calls and your questions and your issues, concerns, and we'll continue with the other features that we have here on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. So feel free, the lines are open. 876 922 4112 to 5, and the text line 876 365 3346. And let's see who is hitting us up online now here on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. And let's see. This one says, serving. All right, so I'm seeing here a message. I'm working at Knox Community College, 14 years now. I'm not sure exactly where this message will be going, so I'll try my best to not go in over my head, just to ensure that we capture the essence of this message so that we will share it, so that we can share it with you, our faithful listeners. So I'm working at Knox. Well, I'm working at a community college. A little late for not that now, isn't it? I'm working at a community college. I've been working at a community college in Jamaica for 14 years now. In not sure of the year, I was at work one morning doing breakfast. I was serving boiled bananas. It was finished on the line. I had was to go to the kitchen for refill. While walking to the kitchen, the watch spill out, or is it water? Watch. You have watch here. The watch spill out. So I stepped in it, fell on my back, went to the doctor. He checked me, then sent me to do an x-ray. Sometimes the pain will act up on me. So the person has left a name and a number saying, please, sir, if it's okay, I need to talk to you. Okay. All right. This this looks like after 5 o'clock. Sorry to hear of your plight, but might not be able to get around to responding until the show ends at 5 o'clock. But sorry to hear about your situation. We will give a listening ear a little later on. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, Mr. Malcolm, they are building some houses in Portmore now, hundreds of them. To my surprise, the kitchen fixtures are imported, and I made a check on the fixtures. They are not treated materials. But how can this be when the land is cane land? That's the heaven for termites. Even if they treat it now, do they let the homeowner know that they have to continue that treatment for life? Gone are the days when the only treated materials we had were, I'm not sure if this is actually a word. So we're going to jump over this. And 111, the lumber industry has changed. I think the home builders should stop the importation of those untreated kitchen material, especially in Portmore. I'm not sure if you're a resident in this community, but if that's the situation, looks like you'll have to take charge, in a manner of speaking, and create a greater level of awareness as to the condition, the likely condition, on the basis of what you have said so far. I would humbly submit that you put it in writing and submit it to the developers and get an initial response from them, and then take it from there. That's what we would humbly suggest. Phone line still going, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. Yes, that is, I think we have discussed that a couple of times before. Mm. Hold a moment, please. You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:30. Hello? Anything? I'm not hearing you, sorry.
Join Power 106 FM for a live broadcast of Power Talk this Tuesday, September 24, from the Pesticides Awareness Week Farmer Training Day at the Guys Hill Town Hall in St. Catherine from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. to learn more about pesticides and how we can protect ourselves and our environment by using them wisely. Broadcast is brought to you by the Pesticides Control Authority, PCA, Growers Choice Avery's Organic Fertilizer, and Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited. That's a live broadcast of Power Talk, highlighting Pesticides Awareness Week this Tuesday, September 24, at the Guys Hill Town Hall in St. Catherine from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
are there are allowed residents in England, while roughly 3 million Jamaicans require, the vast majority of them require a visa in order to enter Britain. To me, that's unfair. But there's another side to the story, and that is where I think personal responsibility comes in. I think I've been saying for more than 20 years. How long since I was on here now?
More than 30 years. About 30.
I've been saying more than 30 years. Because before I come on the radio, I was on the radio. Yeah, the fluid and we started discussion about the way in which we go and get about having children. And we will just lead them up. And so Len and I used to do the way of working. And it's like we would say personal, we need to talk about personal responsibility. Now, one of the reasons Britain gave is that Jamaicans come over here. It showed up in there was some time ago before they had almost mass deportation of Jamaicans. The fact that our population is small compared to other nationals. At one time, there was more Jamaican prisoners in their prison than other nationals, despite our small numbers. There is gangster organized crime in almost every country. China is no different. They have the triad, which is a worldwide organization. They engage in all kind of the difference, I believe, is with maybe the level of education and the fact that China policy where children are concerned are the Chinese policy that people have kids in family. We had there was a discussion some years ago when they were saying that the average Chinese child will have 6 adult members to deal with when they become working because of one child policy. I said the good thing about that is that these children have 6 parents to be responsible for them. While in Jamaica, some of them don't even have one parent that is worthwhile to become a parent. So that's the difference. And maybe that is why the behavior, you find that the behavior and the conduct of those nationals in that country, they don't pose the kind of disruption that we are posing in these countries. There is similar thing in Cayman one time. More Jamaicans find their own, but more Jamaicans was involved in jail in Cayman Island than other nationals. Because we just see, I don't know where and when our people have lost the way. It comes back again to this question about every time this question comes about music and the influence of a certain kind of lyrics. People want to say, but dancehall is not the reason. Dancehall is a symptom. They try to say, but stop this when there's carnival, there's more shots than the street than what dancehall needs to come down. I am not saying that both of them don't have them jobs, but I don't hear this is the carnival music telling people to shoot out the brain and be quite on toilet. And the thing again that I find very dishonest with people who claim to be educated, they refuse to acknowledge that music have impact on people's mind, especially young, vulnerable minds. I mean, the evidence is there all over the world. I was only at Sunday school, like I said, I was Sunday school, and that is what I learned from way back then with the story of David and Jonathan. David was a shepherd. He played the harp to his to his sheep. But when he got Jonathan home and Jonathan's father fall, which they usually have this spout of madness. The only thing that could suit him to calm him down was the playing of David's harp. So even the wild beast, as they used to say, music can feel or have impact on the mind of the animal. And it also proves that some plant general respond to music. And when they play classical music, the plant responds in a positive way. Again, when the plant is exposed like rock music. So anyone who is music don't have an impact on mind. That person is either ignorant or just don't write it on it. And when we have young people who, from before they were born, they are exposed to the risks of shooting out head and all that kind of thing like that. No wonder during the invasion, of Tivoli, when Mr. Siago was asked by a BBC reporter why they can't get the young men to turn in the gun like what they did in Highland and other places, Siago replied to the reporter that these men would rather give up them woman more than give up them gun. And if we have a situation where all these youngsters are hearing, it's most of the lyrics now is about gun lyrics. Are you saying to me that don't have some impact on the mind of these youngsters? Eh? Can anybody say no that boy these lyrics are healthy? The gun lyrics? And you're going to tell me that the gun lyrics don't have something to do with the way a lot of these young people think. One day I was listening to a group of them coming from school, and they could describe all the good fun and how they shoot this and man this and I'm telling them, they said the way you guys love God, it was doing the God for understand. I said, why don't you, since you really love God, so you love fire God, why don't I have the government to send on a God on Iraq so that you can get all the gun in the world fire? Then they come like the children and they are coming on back afterwards. Now go to a place of your man people. They're fighting for a cause. I don't know what they're fighting for. You don't want to gun more than anything else they want. They don't want education. Not that they can focus on education, but they want a gun. And you want to tell me now that the lyrics don't have nothing to do with it. It's bound to. Right? So it comes back to this question. No wonder Britain and elsewhere put a ban on Jamaica into their country because of the chaos. Not that they are the only criminal, no, but it's the chaos that they cause because they will go and they shoot up place and they go here. Who will get shot? Someone will not get shot. You know, you must have how much of them group here doing that. Other than when you somebody go to a bomb or some, what you call a fanatic. Go to a where a group of people are and just open fire. You can understand that. But we just shooting and killing each other for nothing really. But the stupidest and the simplest thing. Right? And as a result, we are being barred from certain countries and because of the kind of people, because of the rules that we are producing. Some of us know the only way they can go to America, they might go to the back door. I remember back in the 70s, when growing up, our parents taught us good manners. And it's the manners carry you through the world. By the time the 80s come around, I hear DJ sing the word and people start about manners carry you through the world. But no manners carry you through the world. Have money and visa. So when you have money, you can buy a visa. Right? When you poor children, especially those who grew up in the rural community, we were taught good manners because our parents warned us, don't go there and get into trouble because they don't have no money to bail us out when we go there and commit crime. So my mother could have 11 between the two of them and have 11 of us, and she never ever got caught us one day of a person and away. And I know many other parents who grew up together and they keep on the straight and narrow.
Why do you think that is so? Why do you think that is so? Why do you think that they have come out the way they have?
Because of what the parents started.
Mm.
Well, it's because of what was inculcated. Children who parents have money, oftentimes they were the troublemaker. Because what, whenever they go and do anything, parents bail them out. Our parents didn't have the money to bail us out. They want to never ask if one do anything or one have a skin of jail. And we were warned. If we spent money to have good money, we were taught to say please, thank you, excuse me, not to break line. Good morning and good evening. Nowadays, when you go into here and if you try to be polite, people look on you and say, I'm going to come from uptown. Because they don't people from uptown, they have good manners. So we wonder where this, what you call subculture come from. And then we are putting this kind of subculture as if it is what we are all about. And I know that's not what we are all about.
Mhm.
We were more, and it's not like so we did not give for the chicken, but we were told again not to be envious or grudgeful or admire what they say other people have because they don't know how they come by it.
Yes.
Then people have some morals and there's certain things that people would do to get rich or to get material things. All that now gone through the window, and the only single focus that most of us have from grandmother to grandpicking is envy and bad mind, and the sole focus is what they can get.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter how they get it. And so when you tell my kids that, look,
Hold a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. The Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica invites you to the World Federation of Colleges and Polytechnics World Congress 2024 from September 25 to 27 at Hilton Rose Hall Resort and Spa, Montego Bay, St. James. Come network with global experts and discuss the future of technical and vocational education and training under the theme Empower, Equip, Excel. For more information and to register, visit cccj.edu.jm.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Thanks for holding, Portmore.
we have produced citizens who have no idea or who just don't think that it is important to be polite. Being on the root cause is crime. And it's manly. That is how they feel like they are man. Because I think somehow we have lost. That's what makes us men. So we have a lot of men, but not enough men around. Really know what being a man is all about. We look at Hong Kong again. Hong Kong is only 400 square miles, yet they have 7.5 million people. Jamaica and look up the behavior and look up there. You know what I do reason again why England wants it? Because they say them have money and they are educated. We don't even have 3 million on Iraq. Yet we have 4,400 square miles of land compared to the 400 square miles that Hong Kong has. And look at Hong Kong population. And look at our size. And look at our population. And look at it. Look at the amount of what you call now, well, they call them unattached youth. Some people say wasteful resource. Right? Because governments are one has created the kind of environment that produces some of these what we call behavior. And they don't seem to really want to change. They come and they talk and they make a talk. But what are they doing concrete? Are they doing nothing? What they're talking about now, we need more children to born. Are they creating the kind of environment to provide the support that family need to bring up children, right? Are we going to continue to have situation where a man growing and he has 6 people mother and the woman has 10 people father, right? And these children are literally left out there on their own, on the road, wiping up windshield and all kind of thing that is not uplifting to neither them nor to the country. Are we going to continue down that road? And then when we have these people and they come outside and they were looking out to get out, and they enter into first world country, what we expect to get from them? There was a time when Jamaican leave here who could read and write, but they go overseas and they get themselves educated and they become prominent and what they call upright. Now the other thing most of it, a lot of them want they go outside and they want to make money at all costs. So they engage in anything that serious are illegal to obtain that money because that's the focus they have to get rich. Nothing about character. And we see from leadership from the top now to the bottom. So we can take personal responsibility. But we need a foundation. We can't talk about we want to have more children. The people who can afford to have more children, they're not going to bump down themselves. And those who can't afford to, because there's no support system. So we continue to have them, and they are there without having the kind of situation like in China. 2 grandfather, 2 grandmother, and a mother and a father. In Jamaica, how much father and mother a lot of these children have? We need to do this study. Because we believe in the exception is the rule. Even though we might find that back in the day, not many people, a lot of people weren't married. But at least they stay together as family and raise up them children. So that then when you go kill his wife and go and you have a big daughter and a contact about his father, they would have to put your father would have to you have to put my daughter. And we have the saying in my community where you look someone put your head before you put a head. You don't do that anymore. I want to go more time.
Thank you for your thoughts. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Another day, Yeah, man, I call upon the Lord and He gave me here. Yes, Mr. Malcolm, is that
I'm trying to figure out which one of them you're talking. AIR, HAIR, or HEAR. Such is the dynamism of the English language.
Yes, man. HEAR.
Okay.
Mr. Malcolm?
Yes, sir.
I am listening, and I am looking. And in my country, I always interested in what the person do. Now, this is interesting time. Jamaica will have to fix by the people. People will have to fix the world. And I notice nowadays, it is very hard to win people. I am planting trees all over in Jamaica. I'm in Wakefield now in Trelawney, right? And let me tell you something. It's hard to get people to come with me even to dig a hole to put a tree in. And I look at it and I see we're picking a lot of fruits from trees. I last year I picked some mangoes off a tree. I think that tree could be about 250 years old because it showed up on the plan of the property since 1773, right? And that tree is still there. That mango tree, only bearing a few now. They call them the long mango, And I said to myself, we pick mango off a tree, we don't know it plant. Let us plant trees, man. Let us do things to benefit with one another. And instead of almost a lot of us interested to do is to tear down one another, especially when you try to do good and do what is right. You understand? Me not like it none at all, even with the politics in this country. If we keep on tearing down one another, who is going to represent the people in time to come? Because people are going to put up themselves to serve like that if they are going to get this type of bashing without proper evidence. Because me tell you the truth, even with the Prime Minister Saga there, if this country, most of the people did have even a 4-year college education. This morning, Mr. Wallace should get about 4 million votes more. We tell you the truth. Most of the people in this country did have a 4 years college education.
Also, what's the significance of the 4 years?
I thought you would more understand that you can't just go away and just run away with things without proper evidence and without a trial. Right? There are avenues, there are protocol that you have to follow. You think you can just jump up and just take up a man and can go lock up like that. Along the way, it just fades out and you tarnish the person's reputation. Now, when people working in high offices, Mr. Malcolm, any country of the world you go, you don't got big fish. And you know what my philosophy teacher always tell me? He said, Barrett, stay in your lane, do what is right, and you can copy. But copy the things where you can make something from. Right? Because look, show you don't got big fish. So me always interested in what the person do. You understand me? You can't just run around and they talk about people like that and they draw down your people like that. Because me tell you, if it was Donald Trump, a 4 million voting get more today. Tell them, man, we have to do better, man. We have to do better. What I want the MP them in this country for doing the council of them as an activist is warn the people who is making trouble to desist from doing so. Right? Warn them and make them know, say, listen me, what we not do is wrong, we have to stop it. Keep a holy rally. Right? Use loudspeaker because some of them now go really listen to the radio or even go on the phone and see it. When you use loudspeaker, if you even cock up in ears, he hear you. He have to hear. That's what they need to go on and keep rally to do. Tell them to stop killing off them one another. Them born and growing at the same village. Eat out of the same pot sometime. A lot of them a pot soup and drink. Right? And going around killing off them one another. For nothing at all. Eh? You see it all in some of the regular small school, they fight them one another and all them kind of thing there. That will happen. But at least we need to start going with people, man, and sensitize these people, big, young, and old, that they must love each other and stop killing off each other. Money no have no feelings, you know, Mr. Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Right now, me want to do some work up on the Ramble Health Center area there. Right? And we want all the farmers on board. Because we want to extend that health center that we can get the benefit. People will get the benefit from it. The load will come out for Corner Regional, Sablama Hospital, if we have a health center with different machine and people who volunteer to work to help you when you're sick, Mr. Malcolm. Look at the hospital. Accidents. When you go there for normal sickness, you can't even get a bed. With the whole heap of accidents that is taking place from motorbikes, car, house and people. The amount of explosion that is taking place, there's no space in them. We have to come to ourselves, man. We can't operate some Malcolm. We cannot continue like this. Eh? We just tearing down each other on one place with that. You can't even live more than 26,000 years now. Anytime you over that, overtime you depend. And once you don't die young, you have to get old. We have to put in mechanism, man, to help people, love people, and hate people. That is what we want. We don't want no fight and the damage flesh. We come here not to damage any flesh. And by faith, we know the changes is coming. I want to play this song for my Prophet Santa Maria. The big ones get away. That is a few words I'm shaping into this day, Mr. Malcolm.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, as usual.
Good people, man, look at the Prime Minister. We got some good people in this country. Love it. All the Prime Minister right now. Look at that. No put on door and window for my house. Because I know now come they're going to interfere with me. No, all the 63 member of Parliament. None of them now going to interfere. We cannot put on no door, no window, no grill. They now come mess with me. We have to deal with the people in the wider world. Right? And if we keep on tearing down people who volunteer to serve, the days is going to come where people is not going to put up themselves, and that is the time we heading for Damascus. So Malcolm,
Yes,
bless you,
sir.
sir.
Bless you too.
You have a good day, man.
Same to you.
Psalm 77, I call upon the Lord and he gave me here.
Amen. Thank you. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. Looking to grow your agricultural enterprise? The Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program REAP is accepting applications. In partnership with Heart and STA Trust, the Jamaica 4-H clubs will provide you with hands-on training, expert business guidance, and startup grants to grow your agribusiness. Whether you're involved in crop production, livestock, fisheries, or agro-processing, REAP gives you everything you need to turn your dreams into reality. Don't wait. Applications now open. To sign up, visit Jamaica4HClubs.com.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thank you very much for joining us. Hello to Natalie Winter. Good to have you on board. Valerie Weller-Peck, welcome as well. And thank you to those who have been calling and sharing their thoughts. Thank you very much. 876-922-4112 and the text line is 876-365-3346. Thank you very much for your messages and your calls so far. Keep them coming, please. And already, as we have said, we have received at least the first of the Your Legal Corner questions. This person made sure to get on early, and so we'll get the treatment. So let's go to the phone lines once again. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
I just want to say, before you continue shortly, the police commission, I find out that the way that I believe that you're going about the crime situation. I'm not saying that he's not doing well, he's doing well, but I expect him that I'm meeting more good be more skillful more because to really go out and drama life when not now but you just feel like out the work and stop people and search them and I pick up them things. That is not the way of really how you stop and search. According to the judge there that the make a statement how the police work to search people. It is like I mean.
Oh, I missed that. Somebody gave a demonstration of how it's supposed to be done and what is supposed to be done.
Yeah, with the last ruling with one of these judges the other day.
Okay.
What they said that the judge said that if there is some shooting going on at an area and you want to catch the person, that is the way you go out and make a roadblock and do a stop and search. Or there is somebody in one of some people and into some crime. And you may expect that the people may not struggling and some people to get away.
You may expect or suspect.
Try to do a stop and search if you can really catch the person. But it's not to really go out and just stop citizens every day and just policing and search of them things and so on. But if something go on and you want to catch somebody in the area, that is the way you do the stop and search and so on. Most like when you want to solve a crime. Or solve crime, otherwise when you're not uprolling or anything, go on, you have to really stop and search. The most time you really do policing to really get wrongdo and cool down crime.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of investigations and to really understand and people who you know are maybe suspect of crime. You try to investigate and try to really find out where them is and whatsoever and try to apprehend them. But not to really just grab the whole public to and search them and so on. Maybe people and their family are going to beach or some dinner or something and you just stop them and search them and all them stuff there. It's not search them. You have to have a reason to really do that. But again, that is one, but the last one now. You can't really go around and because person a criminal or you suspect that they're a criminal or suffering for. Or then there is person attempt to really block somewhere and so on or rob somewhere. And you go on and you see them. And you just shoot up all of them and kill them because one or two of them have a gun. That is not good police situation. Because many of those criminals want a signal to send before they stop thief and the trouble. Because most of them have family just like me and you and whatsoever and children and so on. So if you just go around and shoot every criminal they have cool on crime in that kind of way, then you will set the public and the youth them will come up. So yes, police and all them come there. And sometimes some of these criminals have children who are one. And they will and those children will grow by making police and carrying revenge and so on. So when you think you have pulled on the crime and solve crime by killing a person when sometimes you catch a rob somewhere and then something. Then sometimes you know it's coming up in time to come. Because that person you shoot and kill now have 5 or 4 children. That 5 or 4 children carry feelings to police. Right? So what you have to do, you have to be the professional in what to do. If you're a man of the dead, a man of the dead still now, I'm not really with criminals. Or because at 25 years, you know, really cook with a man, you know, or a friend, you know. Right? So, you know, really friend, but you don't really want to know say a person, a police, a go around and try to solve crime. And every little corruption and situation and just kill the people and so on. Operate them, you can operate them and free and try them and prison them. And the family themselves will know say yes, them father and mother guilty. And when most of the time it will appear. But some Christians them killing and so on. Like one of them 4 persons was trying to break a place downtown. And police catch them on the operation. They don't put the places, but they start to really carry out the rocking. And then kill the four of them. Why they couldn't shoot someone, wounded them and so on, and then they and carry someone whatsoever and so on. So what I'm saying that you can't really start crime in just go around and expect to kill out every criminal. And so because it's not going to work, it's not cause for trouble because those who come in and carrying feelings to the police, they might become worse against the police. Because I am finishing now. If you read the Bible and read about Israel, about all of this country around Israel, like Syria, Germany, Rome, and then in the ancient time there. They still a work for Jews and all them people and try to get rid of them and get rid of the Jewish family. But guess what? The more they kill them, the more they rise. About 6 million Jews they kill and try to get rid of them, And guess what? Israel become one of the strongest army in the Middle East now. That nobody are the one challenge them in the Middle East because they're powerful. And all those enemies where you start killing them become powerful and then so you never kill out people and say you have to start crime that way. The best thing you do, you form a group as police and go in and try to know the community and go on and try to really talk to them and share with them and try to make them understand and become a police lover and understand police and try with the government to really start out the problem that they are going through in the community. Not only about you just go around and kill and so on. You will never solve crime, so. The best way to solve crime, I want to say sometimes a man have to get jail because if a man really finds at the police with a gun, I don't say the police have to return back the fire and if he's dead, he's dead. You understand? But if you can't do it, don't kill the person, you don't kill the person, apparent them and carry him and try him. Right? So I'm going to send this message to the commissioner. Find a group that you can go around and speak to people in the community and build a friendship with them that they can understand and talk to them to cool down and whatsoever. Not about just enemy against them, just go around and see the crime happen. So I want them to get something out of what I'm saying.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Keep those calls coming in and those messages. Thank you very much. It's always good to hear from you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad, and happy to receive your messages and your calls. 876-922-4112-5. Those are the regular numbers. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. There's a call coming through. Who is this now? This is Wilfred. Hello,
Yes,
good afternoon.
Why real perilous times. I mean, I want to know the resident politicized who could do the Prime Minister number. Better than family members and JLP members. And people who need to change the narrative rapidly. Do you think an ordinary PMP at Jungle or Dunkirk can know Jamaica Castle's society Prime Minister number? Do you think so?
No, people have different ways and means.
This country, perilous time indeed. Look on the high crimes in the country, like anybody could do it. Because for any purpose, you know what I'm saying? You have to serve politics. Because people need to change the narrative rapidly, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling the people don't be threatening the PM or opposition leaders. Keep the thing high, sir. And Dr. Charles Rush, you know. And so forth, you know. Without investigation, without we getting any definitive information from the police or so, you understand? like dirty politics to me. People who need to change the narrative. Have a blessed day.
Okay, thanks for your call. Take care. This is Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM, coming up at 3:30, your legal corner with U.S. immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. So in the meantime, if you know you have issues to do with U.S. immigration, this is the day, this is the time, and in a matter of a few minutes, it will be time for your legal corner with U.S. immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. So get ready for that, please. Whatever questions you wanted to ask of an U.S. immigration nature, there's no time like the present. So please take advantage of the opportunity. And that number to call once again, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And let's see. So as we said earlier on a couple of times, we do have the first of the messages to do with U.S. immigration matters. And so that person will be the first up in, in responding and having his or her question answered. So we're looking forward to your taking advantage of the opportunity here on Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. So it's a matter of getting the message and sharing it. Hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Paro 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Volunteers, it's beach cleanup time again. Get ready for International Coastal Cleanup Day 2024 this Saturday, September 21. Observed under the theme, #See the Change. Join Power 106 FM for live broadcast of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online this Saturday, September 21 from the Palisadoes Go-Kart Track in Kingston, starting at 6 a.m. Come and show your support for a good cause. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Environment Trust, JET, and Conrad Douglas and Associates Limited and Environmental Science and Technology Limited, CDA STEM. That's a broadcast of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online this Saturday, September 21 from International Coastal Cleanup Day at the Palisadoes Go-Kart Track in Kingston, starting at 6 a.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. Please keep sending those messages. We see them popping up, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346 for your text messages and your WhatsApp messages. That's the number to call. The regular call-in lines the regular call-in lines are 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. All right, let's see who wants to send us a message right now. Let's see. This one says, help me with this. How the same PNPs who say the investigation must be continued are the same ones saying Andrew big, so nothing won't come of the investigations. Well, there is a difference between street talk and real talk. Thank you for your message. Mouth, my late mother would say, mouth turn crossways, so it said to say anything. Thank you for your message nonetheless, here on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. And this one, Mr. Malcolm, what could be the reason why the PM didn't tell the people that he was under investigation? Everybody knew that. Is it that the spinners could beat the bat of the gate of the gatekeepers? Okay. See if you can figure it out. Horace, otherwise known as Spider. And Barry says, music that caller talking about only what about all those American gun shows and toy gun parents bought for children. Really? Let's Barry, I'm not sure what you're trying to tell us here. The PM is supposed to have filed his returns. Why he refused to do so? Well, I can't speak for the Prime Minister. And you want to ensure that you have a full grasp of all that has been happening and are still happening, to ensure that you are on the right track in terms of your response to the issue. Well, thank you for your message. So the message goes on to say, right, so that was that message from Barry, trying to bring up to speed those who are out of it. So we finished that one off air. So let's continue up the line. Arlene says, good day, Dervan. Good day. The value you get for a house you pay millions of dollars in Jamaica is not worth it. Right now, I have to find money to do over or to do our kitchen and bathroom. The quality board is not good. This is in Old Harbor area. Forewarned is forearmed, they say, or something to that effect. So someone shared their experience earlier on with respect to a type of wood or material, generally speaking, and only to find out that it wasn't of the quality he or she expected. So we need to be mindful of these things as well. And let's see. Thank you for your message, Arlene, and all the very best. Miss Dell is messaging us. Let's see what she's saying. Good evening, Mr. Dervan. According to the opposition, the Prime Minister has no moral authority to continue to be the leader of our country. But although they were on stage with the world's greatest musician, they have all the good morals and integrity to lead our country. How come? And your characterization, or you're asking the question, PM is corrupt, but the opposition is not. How come? It looked to me as if the opposition wants to overthrow the government. Now be careful now, because we're talking about, we can't be the same people who talk about checks and balances, and then when checks and balances are being implemented, it is a problem as well. So we need to know exactly what we want, Miss Dell, as a people. It can't be that you call for something and there's a proper response, and then if it's not in your favor, then you turn over the table. No, no, no. Remember, there's always tomorrow. With or without us, there's always tomorrow. Let's see the rest of this message. Where did it go? Right. Okay, thank you for your message, Miss Dell. All the very best. And this one now is from Cuban in Georgia. Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. The public should be out in the streets for this morning, peacefully protesting against corruption and demonstrations for him to step aside. Another thread of this message, people should be, it can't be the same message, is it? People, no, it's not. People should be organizing peaceful protests at Jamaica House gates and day and night until he recuses himself, as in takes away himself from the office. Well, it's a question of what is the modus operandi, what is supposed to happen. What does the Constitution say about these things and related matters? And if the system can't sustain itself, then we're possibly talking about anarchy, which nobody wants. Well, we hope. Let's leave that there for the time being and check a few more of these messages. Let's see. Is that Miss Dell coming back at us? Mr. Dervan, please ask for me. Please ask for me what has happened to the illicit 8. I want to know, please. You're asking the wrong person. As we continue to take your calls and your messages, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. So we have a couple of minutes before we get to your legal corner with the U.S. immigration attorney, Delia Walker Huntington. Let's get ready for that right now during both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And let's see who else is messaging us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365-3346. Couple of responses here to earlier comments. Let's see. Let's see if we can get in these messages before we have to break for Your Legal Corner with U.S. Attorney Delia Walker Huntington. So let's see. This one says, this is from Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, this is worse than building bad roads. So the person says, Mr. Malcolm, so the houses in Old Harbor having the same termite problem. Oh dear. Perish that thought. And you say this is worse than building bad roads. Okay. And what, Mr. Malcolm, what could be the reason? I think I read this one already. Why the PM didn't? Yeah, we read this message already. And so let's move on. Here's Dennis calling through. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hey, hello, Mr. Dervan. How are you?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put a couple of things I want to know.
Yes.
They announced a couple of months ago that they got $45 billion of something like that, billion to do the road. But I don't see nothing doing to the road.
Yeah, there's limited work, if any.
Limited work.
There is some indication. There is some indication. I tell you what, I wonder if you could call us back within, what's it, another half an hour? Please. Okay? Thank you.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30. The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaica radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Chevy.
FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on OneSpotMedia.com and the OneSpot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Welcome to Your Legal Corner on Power 106 FM, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-41125. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Time now for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM.
Indeed, it is a Thursday afternoon, just after 3:30, and you know what that means. Time for Your Legal Corner with U.S. immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. Good afternoon to you, Miss Dahlia. How are you? I am fine, thanks. How is it going? Uh, mm-hmm. Yes. That's right.
Speaking on one of the morning programs about a proposal of the Republicans if they should regain power. Now, as we've talked for years on this program, that's going on now for what, about 17 years, I think, 16, 17 years, we talked about how a president influences immigration law by their ideology, their how they implement their philosophy, instructions, who they choose as the Secretary of Homeland Security, the head of the Justice Department, State Department, all of those areas that impact immigration. We talked about, politics does have influence on it because the president gives their cabinet directions, philosophies, and who they choose implement the laws in certain ways. And certainly in immigration, the law, what passes for law is actually what we call black letter law statute. There's also interpretation from courts, from the federal court system all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, and certainly presidential influence on it. So and we've seen it change from time to time. But what's really disturbing, and let me back up, the 2016 to 2020 administration, Trump administration, they instituted a department to denaturalize U.S. citizens. What they were looking at back then is to re-examine persons who had recently become U.S. citizens. Now there's millions and millions of foreign-born people in America who are naturalized citizens, like myself. So if between when you are approved for naturalization, you're going for an interview, you're approved. Sometimes you're sworn in on the same day, but very rarely. There's usually a lag time between when you're approved and when you're called in to take the oath of allegiance to the United States. Um, if during that time you commit a crime and it's found out later after you've naturalized, the government can move to denaturalize you, meaning taking away your U.S. citizenship. Also, if it is found out that you lied in any way to obtain your citizenship, one of the questions that's asked repeatedly on forums is, are you a Nazi? Have you participated in any form of oppression against your people of your country, different things. And if you answered incorrectly and they found out later that you had in fact lied, they can move to take away your citizenship. And it's only been done in very rare cases. It's not something that is done frequently. Very rare occurrence, but the provision is there for the US government to do that. So what did the Trump administration 2016 to 2020 did was that they established an arm inside the Department of Homeland Security that started to re-examine persons' naturalization applications and see if in fact they could denaturalize them. Well, it's recently come out from statements from both the candidate, his vice presidential candidate, and his anti-immigrant czar, I want to call him, Stephen Miller, is that they plan to quote unquote turbocharge denaturalization in the next Trump administration. Now, before maybe a year ago, I would laugh at that and say, can't happen. There is a procedure in place that in the rare instances where you can do this. But after the US Supreme Court this year virtually gave a president almost blanket immunity to do anything he or she wants in the furtherance of their office, as they claim, I cannot comfortably dismiss what I would have dismissed a year ago. So I am saying this to say I am deeply concerned that this is going to be a focus of a new Trump administration, if one should be so be so unfortunate to take place, that persons such as myself would have to start to wonder, could I lose my citizenship other than for a criminal act? And so it is important that those immigrants who are US citizens be keenly aware of this and vote in their best interests. Because as a country, as a democracy, democracies all over the world pride themselves on certain tenets. It shouldn't matter, it matters ideologically who heads a government. One party or the other has different ideologies, different ideas of how to run a country. But there's certain basic tenets of a country that should remain, that you should not have to worry about if it's party A or party B who wins a general election. Certain things, for example, the peaceful transfer of power, that you accept the results of an election, you peacefully and gracefully transfer power, that no one is above the law in a democracy. In a monarchy or an autocracy, it's different, but certainly in a democracy, no one is above the law. And so we find that these things are really at stake. It might sound dramatic, but it is not. It is. I'm saying it as calmly and as calmly as possible, so as not to make it sound like it's probably fearful. It is reality that we're facing. That democracy, as we know it for America, is really on the line on November 5th with Project 2025. That is not just going to seek to remove those who are the 12 to 15 million people who might be undocumented in the United States, not to mention millions of immigrants who are there legally, but also millions of naturalized US citizens. So I say all of that long preamble, Dervan, to say that if you have a vote, or if you're a naturalized citizen in America, please register to vote. Those dates are coming close. Every state varies. You can go to iwillvote.com to see put in your state, and it will tell you what your deadlines are for you to vote. Very important because this clearly is is now a threat to millions and millions of naturalized citizens in the U.S. So that's what's going on in my head today.
Mhm. A lot. You've
Yes.
got it. You got a lot going on there. Let's see. Well, there's the very first message that was sent in relation to your legal corner is is by a regular listener, regular caller. And the question, well, more like questions. Let's see. So the person says, "Good afternoon. My question is, I would like to know if I can travel on my USA work authorization card to Jamaica and back without any issues. On the bottom of the card has this is written on the back of the card, serves as I-512 advanced parole. What? Sorry.
No, so what that means is the person has been granted advance parole. So they've applied, I'm assuming, for adjustment of status, and part of that application was for permission to travel before the adjustment is decided, either just by sending an approval or by calling in for an interview. So USCIS granted advance parole, which is the same document as a work permit with that disclaimer at the bottom. However, I will not take the burden on me to say, yes, you can travel. Even USCIS makes qualifications. Because although you've been granted.
Hold a moment, please. If you could tell us more after the break, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, our 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Cliff Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app. You're listening to Your Legal Corner, your source of information on all matters regarding U.S. immigration. You can call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-41125. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Now, back to Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM.
Thank you very much for staying with us here on Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story. Power 106 FM with U.S. immigration attorney Delia Walker Huntington. And just for the commercial break, we stopped at USCIS. Can you, let's see. Right.
You applied for advance parole.
Mhm.
They're telling you they may grant it. It does not automatically mean that you will be allowed back into the country. So I have to make that disclaimer to this person. Yes, they were
'Cause-
granted advance parole, which is the same document as the work permit, the card, with the message that it can be used for travel, but it does not guarantee you that you will be allowed back into the country.
Right, because well, I think it's a female, but she wasn't totally finished. What the danger is? Are there any violations if I travel on it? I am in the USA 10 months. My son did a change of status for me. I also received my Social Security card in June, and I'm now awaiting my green card in the mail, but I need to attend to emergency in Jamaica. Note, I still have a valid US visa. I'm listening for your response. Thanks much. You are doing a great job.
So the fact that she's applied for adjustment of status, the visa, she couldn't really travel and come back in on the visa. So she did the right thing by applying for advance parole, by applying for permission to travel, and it was granted. But I cannot guarantee her that she will be allowed back into the country.
Okay.
And USCIS also makes that disclaimer because it's going to be up to the consular officer when she comes to the airport, not the consular officer, the CBP, Customs and Border Protection officer, if they allow her back into the country.
All right, here's another one. This one says, good afternoon. What year are they currently processing for I-130? Mother, a green card holder, filing for her son. I filed I-130 application for my 10-year-old son, January 2023.
Okay, so the visa, so mom as a green card holder filing for a minor child is the F2A category, and visas are available for persons with priority dates earlier than November 15 of 2021. And she said she filed when? January 2022.
23.
23, okay, so a little wait, little time to wait.
Mhm.
There's a little time to wait. Now, their fiscal year ends on September 30th. Haven't seen visa bulletin yet for October, so I don't know. In the perfect world, it should jump because now new visas, it's a new year, so the visa count starts over from scratch. But
Mhm.
that used to be years ago when I was practicing. We could say on October there'd be a huge jump because a lot of visas would be available. But boy, Dervan, I don't know how they pick these priority dates. Nobody knows
Mm.
why is there such a long wait. Um, why doesn't it jump ahead when the new year starts?
Mm.
So we'll see what happens when the October bulletins come out.
Okay. Stand by, listeners. Thank you very much for making it your legal corner during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. We still have time for you to get in a call or two, a few messages, questions, uh, something that you're not sure about. Here's your opportunity. The numbers to call 876 922 4112 to 5. That's 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, and that number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. So keep those messages coming in. 876 922 4112 to 5. And for this segment, it's particularly for U.S. immigration matters. So if you have any questions at all in relation to U.S. immigration, you have come to the right place. 876 922 4112 to 5, or WhatsApp and message 876 365 3346. And let's see. This one says, okay, this is a follow up. Let's see, let's pick it up here. Okay, this is a follow up as regards to the I-512 advance parole. Can I stay in Jamaica and get my green card?
other people don't travel with somebody else's green card to give to them, but you're not supposed to. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Let's see who else. Here's one from Congo. Somebody's Monica, Monikeer. Somebody's nickname. Congo saying when you file for a minor, is the application form different from adults?
No, it is not. It's the same application. Same application.
Okay. Let's see who else is messaging us on that score. There's a follow-up message. Let's see here. So this person says, when you file for, no, it's the same person. Never mind. Same person wanting to know if the application form is the same. All right, so let's move right along. Before we have to wrap, any further messages and questions and calls in relation to U.S. immigration matters? We have a few minutes left here in this segment of Your Legal Corner with U.S. immigration attorney Delia Walker Huntington. And let's see if there are any other messages for us, any other questions. Remember the numbers 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. We see Franklin McDonald messaging us. Oh, okay, not that one is not for us. Let's see who else. Right, so another follow-up. So can my son who filed for me bring it to me if I travel to Jamaica?
Yeah, this lady wants to get me into trouble. You know, these are typical clients. I've questioned several different ways, hoping to get a different answer. You want
Yeah.
the green card or the lawyer? Anybody else who want to do so at their own risk. I am not advising anyone to do that.
Okay, that's quite straightforward. All right, let me check out the rest of the information that is here. To the phone lines once again, 876 922 4112 to 5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good
Yes,
afternoon.
good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to say something. I'm not listening. Okay? Hello? But I like
Not hearing so clearly, Dervan.
Oh,
Not hearing it.
what happened there now?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Last lecture, there was some photo going on the radio saying I could vote, okay? But I only successful. How could I vote from Jamaica?
You're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you need to register. First of all, you need to, any U.S. citizen who lives outside of America must register with the embassy where they live. So there is, you have to go online and register with the embassy in Kingston. So that way they know that there's a U.S. citizen living in Jamaica. Now, which states in America do you reside in? Where?
I was living in California.
California. Do you still have an address there?
I used to California as well.
Okay. So there
During
is
I
two things you need to do. One of them is you need to register with the embassy in Kingston so they know that you're here. And then there's a website called Federal Voting Assistance Program. And you check that, and I'm gonna give out that website, and you go there, and you'll give you more information about your state and the deadline, because every state has a different deadline for when to vote. So it is www. You're writing. So, Dervan, maybe you can write it down for him, and when the program ends, you can get it off the air from the producer. It's www.f as in federal, B as in voting, A as in assistance, and P as in program. That's fvap.gov.gov. So it's www.fvap.gov, and that you tell it what state you're registering under, and they will send you an absentee ballot for you to vote. You have to fill out an application, and you're going to participate as an overseas absentee ballot. But most certainly, there's several U.S. citizens living in Jamaica. You have to fill out these applications online. So you won't be able to go to the embassy and vote on election day. You have to do it in advance. So now is the time to do that. The window is closing fast.
Okay, I'm gonna take a number for the website.
You can also, if you have an email address, you need to get one. Your ballot can be sent to you electronically as well. So get going on that. So two things: you're gonna register with the embassy so they know that you are living here, and you also will register on that website that I gave you, www.fvap.gov. But once you're registered with the embassy, they send you reminders of when it's elections and other things that they send information to U.S. citizens living in Jamaica. All right? Okay, you're welcome. Take care. Dervan, just like to point out to remind the listeners that my office in Jamaica is relocated to 60 Knutsford Boulevard in the Panjam building. Our numbers remain the same: 876-969-9666. That's 969-9666 or 925-0549. But remember that you have to make an appointment in order to see my assistant or myself. No walk-ins. You must call 966 to make an appointment. All right. And if you want to speak to me for a consultation, it's 954-963-8555. 954-963-8555. Thanks, Dervan. Take care, and we'll talk next week.
Looking forward to that. Thank you too. All the best.
All righty. Have a good day.
You too. And that's it for this week's edition of Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Delia Walker Huntington. And we'll cue for the closing.
Just listen to Your Legal Corner, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Join us next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM. At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:03 on Power 106.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, our 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Cliff Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Ghetto kid grabs his shoulder, throws him up against the wall. He says, would you respect me if I didn't have this gun? 'Cause without it, I don't get it, and that's why I carry one. We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. There's both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Oy, oy, oy.
White man turns the corner, finds himself within a different world. Ghetto kid grabs his shoulder, throws him up against the wall. He says, would you respect me if I didn't have this guy? 'Cause without it, I don't get it, and that's why I carry one. We always need to hear both sides of the story, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Yes, both sides of the story. 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 Find yourself in the gutter in our lonely part of town. Wind waits in the darkness with a weapon to cut some stranger down. Sleeping with an empty bottle is a sad and an empty heart man. He needs a job, a little respect, so he can get out while he can. We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Neighborhood piece of shining. It's the middle of the night. Young faces hide in the shadows while they watch the color unfold the fight. He says she's been unfaithful. She says her love for him is gone. The brother shrugs to his sister and says, looks like it's just us from now on. Oh, we always need to hear both sides of the story. Hear both sides of the story.
Thanks a lot for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Quite a few messages have come in, and one of significance is from Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Looks like he and his wife are marking their, I think is it today or tomorrow? I think it's their 41st wedding anniversary. I think that's what it is. And in listening to the program, he was saying here, can we get a little more volume on the caller's end? And Albert himself says, good afternoon, Sir D. A rainy afternoon here in my location. Hope everyone is doing great. Let me extend wedding anniversary greetings to the one. And you weren't finished, no, you were just rushing to say this, to post this to your wife, Mr. Lewis. Let me see. So you're saying here, a rainy afternoon in your location. Hope everyone is doing great. And you're extending wedding anniversary greetings to the one, I think you want to say, the one and only wife, mother, and grandmother, my Rose, Dr. Rose Marie Lewis. thanking her for putting up with me for 41 years. Wow. Hope she will stick around for another 41. Uh, Wonderful. And Albert asks, can we get a little more volume on the caller's end? That was earlier on. And we have read the other messages. I see Velta Wilson is also in the mix. Good of you to join us. In terms of other developments, Christopher Campbell says the greatest thing a leader has her people. When that trust is betrayed, it will be the time to step down for the sake of the people. That's from Christopher. Thanks for your message, Christopher. Stephen says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Would one know that they're under investigation if they're being investigated? That's like asking me if that's a question. It is a question. There is no bad or wrong or out of the question is a question. That's a question. Okay, let's move right along. And Albert is confirming that today is the day. Today is their 41st wedding anniversary of Albert and his Rose, Dr. Rosemary Adamson Lewis. So we trust you will have, trust the day. I think at 1 year I was in that space. Do you remember that, Mr. Lewis? I wonder if he remembers it. I was out with his, with this couple, Mr. and Mrs. Lewis, and enjoying Florida. I think I have fond memories of that, being in good company. And there are so many memories. It's always nice when you can take a look back at the memories. It invokes a sense of warmth and relaxation. So sorry that we had to end the previous connection, but it is what it is. It's part of the vagaries of telecommunications in this modern age. But so it is. So it is. And so let's also thank the members of the JMEA for being a part of this space as well for today, in terms of previewing the JMEA Awards ceremony, part of the build-up. It happens on Saturday, the 28th of September. And this year's theme is redefining boundaries, advancing the future of manufacturing and exporting. We wish the manufacturers and exporters all the very best as they continue to play their part in the development of Jamaica, land we love. Thank you very much. Thanks to Vivette Malcolm for her role behind the scenes for one of the connections here. The Maritime University. And we also had the opportunity to interview a couple of the team members at a couple of these brands. And we are also grateful for the other interviews that we've been able to carry out today. And the features, of course, Delia Walker Huntington played her as usual. On a day like today, it's a Thursday, and your legal corner is usually up and running at 3:30 in the afternoon. But right now, can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm saying thanks on behalf of our program assistant, Adrian. Thank you very much, as usual. And who else do I need to thank? Jesse Blake. Yes. Jesse Blake, senior. What's Jesse's title again? Senior producer. Right. Forgive me. Senior producer. Well done as usual, Jesse. And thanks to our faithful viewers and listeners all over the globe for making it Both Sides of the Story. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
news, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
Portland businessman Everton Beauty Star McDonald and co-convict host Thursday. In business news, Jamaicans paid more for alcohol beverages this year when compared with a similar period last year.